Hi, Will Clark here with Assistant Allen County Prosecutor Tony Miller. He is also an alumni of 1990. Now, Tony has teamed up with Interact Organization to spread awareness on a few topics. This week we'll discuss safety on the ramifications of sending inappropriate pictures. All right, so Tony, I know there's two major categories of ramifications, one being legal and one being social. Now, Tony, I'd like to talk about the legal first. Can you tell me a little about that?
Sure, absolutely. And you're exactly right. There are two broad categories of what I call ramifications when we talk about sending inappropriate pictures over the internet or via cell phone. Okay, and that's commonly referred to as sexting. And I use that term sometimes and it gets a laugh, but it's actually a very serious topic because there are some very strong legal ramifications that students don't always realize. And when you talk about those legal ramifications, you have to break it down into further categories. One, usually you have a sender, a creator of the image, and that's also a sender, and then you have a receiver of the image. The creator usually, in most instances, is a girl, a female. That's just what we see most of the time.
Yeah.
Girl takes a picture of herself nude and then sends it to a boyfriend. That's sort of the classic example. And what is not realized is that the person who actually creates that image, if the girl is a juvenile under 18, 17, 16 years old, she's committed a crime, a second-degree felony, called creating an image of a juvenile in a nude state. Okay, that's one crime. Now, it seems odd that taking a nude picture of yourself would be a crime, but technically it is. And then sending that picture is another crime, and both of those are second-degree felonies. Then the receiver, okay, usually the boyfriend in our textbook example, so to speak, the receiver receives it and keeps it, that's a third-degree felony. And I should explain that there are actually 5 categories of felonies in Ohio, 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest. So as you can see, these are pretty significant crimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if then the receiver of the image, the boyfriend in our example, sends that image to a friend, he's committed a second-degree felony because he has disseminated that image of a juvenile in a nude state.
Yeah.
Sexting. If he does it again, that's another second-degree felony. If he sends a group text to 10 of his buddies, that's 10 second-degree felonies.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can see how this thing kind of grows out of control. And those are the legal ramifications. Now, what if the receiver of that image is 18? She's 17, he's 18. Well, 18-year-old receiver, the boyfriend in our example, is an adult. Okay, that's 2 to 8 years in prison. That's big boy prison.
Yeah.
DYS, Department of Youth Services, but big prison, and the prosecutor's office and law enforcement take that very seriously.
All right, now can you tell us a little about the social ramifications of our
Right.
students?
Right. The social ramifications, oftentimes, and it sounds weird to say because the legal ramifications are so serious, but the social ramifications are even oftentimes more serious because they can have catastrophic consequences. We have seen numerous instances around the country where the sort of example that I gave, girlfriend takes a picture, sends it to boyfriend, boyfriend then disseminates it to his friends, and that leads to tremendous embarrassment for the girl who took the picture. Never intended it to be that way, but that's how it got. And we have seen young people commit suicide over this sort of thing because it leads to bullying, another topic that we may talk about down the road. But it is the social ramifications are tremendous, and oftentimes exceed the criminal penalty that go along with this because they often, again, we've seen instances where young women have committed suicide because of the social ramifications, the embarrassment, the bullying that follows taking this picture and disseminating it. So my goal and my hope is that before anybody engages in this activity, which might seem trivial at the time, really stops and thinks about both the legal consequences and the social consequences because they are very, very important. And I don't think students think about them enough when they engage in this activity.
All right, thank you again.
You're welcome. Thanks.